Hello, everyone. My name is Jack Lauper. Today, I'll be talking about why legalized and regulated sports betting is actually beneficial for the economy and for society. Even though a lot of people see it as a negative trend, my research shows that legalization makes betting safer, brings in huge amounts of money for public services, and helps states deal with problems that already exist. My background in sports. Sports have always been a big part of my life. Sunday football games with my family, March Madness brackets with friends, and even movies like Miracle that celebrate underdog stories are some of my favorite movies of all time. As sports betting has become more common, I've noticed that people have strong opinions about it. Some think it's fun, others think it's dangerous. What I found through researching this topic is that people are already betting everywhere. And the real question isn't whether it should exist, but whether it should be legal and regulated. My argument is that legalization, combined with responsible regulation, is the best and safest approach. Why regulation matters. One of the biggest things that stood out to me is that people will bet whether it's legal or not. Even before legalization, almost everyone participated in some kind of betting. Super Bowl squares, brackets, fantasy leagues, random websites. Making sports betting illegal doesn't make it disappear, it just pushes it underground where it's unregulated. Legalization allows states to control the activity, monitor it, and enforce safety measures that don't exist in illegal spaces, as well as, like in my next slide we'll talk about, taxing. The economic benefits. Another major point is how much money sports betting brings to states. I always assumed it wasn't much, but I was completely wrong. According to the US Census Bureau, sports betting revenue helps pay for roads, highways, education, law enforcement, and even gambling addiction programs. The Tax Foundation reports that in 2023 alone, states collected over $1.8 billion from sports betting taxes. This money that supports communities without raising taxes on everyday citizens. That's a huge benefit. The illegal market problem. Illegal betting is actually the most dangerous part of the entire issue. The Baker Institute puts it very clearly. Sports betting black markets already exist, and illegal activities are happening every day. The difference is that illegal operators don't follow rules, don't protect your information, don't check age limits, and don't offer responsible gambling tools. Legal operators are required by the state to do all of that. Legalization doesn't create betting, it makes existing betting environments safer. Addiction is real, but regulation helps. I don't want to pretend that betting has no downside. A study found that after legalization, online gambling spending rose by 369%, and irresponsible gambling increased too. These numbers are serious, but they are also exactly why regulation is so important. When betting is legal, states can require deposit limits, timeout features, spending alerts, self-exclusion programs. If betting stays illegal, none of those protections exist. So legalization actually gives us tools to address the problem. As well as I know some betting apps also include early cash out options. Problem gambling statistics. The National Council on Problem Gambling reports that nearly 20 million American adults showed at least one indicator of problematic gambling behavior in the past year. That number is frightening, but also shows that addiction is already a major issue. Illegal betting doesn't make those numbers go down, it just hides the problem. When sports betting is legal, states gain funding to support treatment programs and educate people about safe gambling habits. Legal operators are required to help, which illegal ones never will. The integrity of sports. Some people worry that sports betting will ruin sports. According to a 2025 Pew Research study, 40% of adults now think legalized sports betting is bad for sports. I understand why people feel that way, but I think the bigger problem is when betting happens secretly. Excuse me. When betting is legal, unusual or suspicious betting patterns are monitored, reported, and investigated to protect the integrity of games. Illegal markets don't care about keeping sports fair. Legal markets are required to, just like how recently in the NBA, former NBA player and head coach Chauncey Billups and current NBA player Terry Rozier where they had weird patterns noticed and were investigated for illegal gambling inside the NBA. Trade-offs and trade-offs and challenges. There are some trade-offs with legalization. For example, a study in West Virginia found that sports betting caused a drop in revenue from video lottery terminals. meaning people shifted from one type of gambling to another. But this doesn't mean legalization is harmful. It just shows that states need to think carefully about how they tax and regulate different types of gambling. No public policy is perfect, but that doesn't mean we should go back to unsafe, illegal betting markets. Conclusions. When you step back and look at everything, the truth is clear. People are going to bet on sports whether it's legal or not. The real question is whether it should happen in a regulated, safe environment or in an unregulated, illegal one. Legalized betting brings in money for public needs, protects consumers, and helps identify and treat addiction. Illegal betting does none of these things. Legalization isn't about encouraging gambling. It's about making sure that people who already do it as safely as possible. For that reason, sports betting should be legalized and regulated nationwide. And then this is my works cited page, which has all of my works cited listed, just like they are in my essay. Thank you for your time. That was my presentation.